Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well and having a wonderful week. Today's video will be based on the May-June 2020 CXC Mathematics Paper 1, and I'll be working through 10 of the most difficult questions that are found in the paper. This will be helpful for those of you who are planning to sit the CXC Mathematics Paper 1, or for those of you who've recently sat the 2020 paper and you would just like a bit of confirmation on the questions that you might be unsure of. I hope this will be helpful either way. Before we go ahead, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and also hit the notification bell so you know when I release new videos. And with that said, let's go right ahead into the video. Okay, so the first question that we'll be looking at is, let's see. Let's work question 16. It says, the annual interest rate on a mortgage on a house assessed at a value of $450,000 is 5 cents on every $1. What is the interest paid on the mortgage for the first year? So from this question, we can tell that for every $1 we're paying back to the bank, we're paying 5 cents in interest. So to find out how much interest we're going to be paying, we need to multiply 5 cents by the actual cost of the house or the property. So it's going to be 450,000 multiplied by 5 cents. And remember, when we're multiplying by 5 cents, it's going to be written as 0.05. Multiplying that across, we should have a value of $22,500, which gives our answer as B. Moving on to another question. Let's go to question 20. It says a man's regular pay is $3 per hour up to 40 hours. Overtime is twice the payment for regular time. If he was paid $216, how many hours of overtime did he work? So looking at our question, the first thing we need to do is find out how much exactly was paid for regular work. So the first thing we need to do also, another thing that we need to do is to find out how much he's going to be paid for overtime. So we know he's going to be paid $3 per hour, and that is for his regular 40 hours. If he's to work overtime now, he's going to be paid twice. That's what it says, twice the payment for regular work. Since it's being paid $3 for regular work, therefore will be paid twice of 3, which is 3 twos is 6. So it's going to be paid $6 for overtime. Now, to find how much he's being paid for the 40 hours, we need to multiply the 40 hours by $3 per hour. And then we'll find out how much he got paid for his regular hours. So 40 multiplied by 3 would give us 3 times 0 is 0, 3 times 4 is 12. So that's $120 for regular pay. He was paid $216. So we need to subtract the regular pay from the $216 to know how much he was paid for overtime. Subtracting that, we will have $96. Now we need to know how many hours did he work for overtime. We know how much he was paid. Now to find the hours, we know how much he was paid for overtime, and we know how much he's being paid per hour. So therefore we divide 96 by 6 and we get 6 into 6 is 1. 6 into 6 again. Sorry, we're going to use 3. So 3 into 6 is 2. 3 into 9 is 3, and 3 into 6 is 2. So we have 32 divided by 2, and then we're going to divide that by 2. So 2 into 2, 1, 2 into 3 is 1 with 1 remainder, and then 2 into 12 is 6. So our answer is 16 hours for overtime work. So by simplifying this, we can find our answer, and our answer should have been 16. Moving through to another question that might have been a bit difficult to work. Let's see. Let's try question number 24. Yes, question 24. Given that 3 times 6 is equal to 12 and 2 times 5 is equal to 9, then A times B may be defined as... Okay, so we have our options here. A, B, C, D. And we need to substitute our values that we were given in the question to see which is going to give us our correct answer in both options in the question. Before we go ahead, let's just mark our A and B. So 3 would be A, 6B, 2A, and 5B. We're going to label equation 1, the first equation, 3 times 6 is equal to 12, as 1. And then we're going to label 2 times 5 is equal to 9 as the second equation. Now for the first option, we're going to try out to see if our values, substituting our values, we're going to get the same as what our question described our answer as. So our first question, we have B is 6 minus 3. So 6 minus 3 is 3. Multiplied by 4, that's 12. So that's correct. And then for the second part, 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. Multiplied by 4 gives us 12 again. But our answer is 9. So therefore, it does not work for the second equation. So that's a X. B, we have A squared. So for the first equation, we have 3 squared. So that's 3. 3 times 3 is 9 minus 6 would give us yes, so 3 squares, that's 9 minus 6 would give us 3. So that is wrong for the first equation. And then 2 squares is 4 minus 5, which is negative 1. So it's incorrect as well for the B. Moving on to C, we have 6 times A. So 6 times 3 is 18 minus 6, so 12. So that will be correct. Then we have 6 times A for the second equation. So A is 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Minus 5, so 12 minus 5 would give us 7, and our answer should be 9, so that is not correct. Moving on to D, now we have 2 times A for the first equation, so A is 3. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 6 equal to 12, and then 2 times 2 is 4, plus 5 would give us 9. Hence, D is our answer. Moving on to another question. Let's go to question... Let's go right to 26. It says the distance L that an elastic string is stretched by hanging an object of mass m varies directly as the mass of the object. If a 5 kg object stretches the string 31 centimeters, how far will a 29 kg object stretch the string? So it mentions that it's directly proportional, means that when the mass go up, the length of it goes up as well. It stretches as well. So that's going to be L is equal to K, which is the constant, and then mass M. We know our length is 31 centimeters, and K is what we have to find, our constant, not constant, and then 5 is our mass. So to find K, it's going to be 31 divided by 5, and simplifying that, we will have our answer as 6.2. Now we know our K, and the last part of our question asks us how much it will stretch with a 29 kg. How far will a 29 kg object stretch the string? How far will a 29 kg? So we write in our equation, we have L is equal to 6.2 multiplied by M. Substituting our value for our mass, so we have L is equal to 6.2 multiplied by 29 kg, and multiplying that across, we'll have our answer as 179.8 centimeters. And that is how far a 29 kg object will stretch this string. That is D. Moving on, we'll work question 28. Item 28 refers to the following matrix, P. And we have P is equal to 8, 6, 7, 5, and 28. The determinant of P is, so we need to find the determinant of P. In order to find the determinant of P, our matrix would be written as A, B, C, D. And to find the determinant of a matrix, it's the diagonal AD subtracting the diagonal BC. That's how you find the determinant of a 2 by 2 matrix. So we need to multiply AD and BC and subtract those two. So AD minus BC would give us our determinant. Substituting our values, we have A as 8. And then we have multiplied by D, which is 5. And then we're going to subtract that by 6 multiplied by 7. 8 multiplied by 5 would give us a value of 40. And then 6 multiplied by 7 would give us a value of 42. Subtracting that, we'll have an answer or a determinant of -2. So our answer would be B. Moving on to another question. Let's work question 30. Item 30 refers to the following diagram of triangle PQR, in which L is the midpoint of PR and QP equals A and QR equals B. 30. PL expressed in terms of A and B is, okay, so we have a vector PL, and we need to express this in terms of A and B. PQ is equal to A and QP, is equal to A, and QR is equal to B. Vector PL. So before we can find vector PL, we need to find vector PR, because vector PL is half of vector PR. So we can find the vector of PR, which is P to Q and then Q to R, as we can see here. Now that vector would be, since we're going from P to Q, that would be a -A, since the A is going in the direction of Q to P, and then a positive B. That is equal to vector PR. Rewriting that, we have B minus A is equal to vector PR. Now to find vector PL, once again we know vector PL is half of PR, so all we need to do is divide PR by half. So B minus A divided by 2 is equal to vector PL, and that is the same as option B, B minus A divided by 2. So our answer is B. Moving on to our next question, to another question. Let's see. Pretty easy. Some of these we've worked already in the January 2020 and 2019 May June. Let's work question 43 now. It says if the mean of four numbers 4, 8, x and 12 is 10, then x is, so we need to find the value of x. We know when we're finding the mean, it means that the numbers are divided by the amount of numbers we have. So you add them up, so it's going to be 4 plus 8 plus x plus 12 divided by the total of the numbers, so it's 4 numbers, and then that is equal to 10. Now we need to add up the numbers on top. So 4 plus 8 would give us 12. Then 12 plus 12 would give us 24. So that's 24. X is equal to 10. And since we're going to take over the 4, it's going to be multiplying. So 10 multiplied by 4 is equal to 40. So that's 24x is equal to 40. Let's rewrite this to the corner. So we now need to make x the subject of the formula. So we have 40 is one second. No, we made a mistake, sorry. It's going to be 24 plus x. Let's erase that, sorry. So it's 24 plus x and 24 plus x once again. Now to make x the subject of the formula, we're going to have x is equal to 40 subtract 24, since it was being added to the x on the left. So simplifying that, we'll have x is equal to 16. So our answer is D, 16. Moving on, let's work question 44, proportions. It says item 44 refers to the following table, which shows the results of a survey of 100 persons from two major ethnic groups, P and R. From two major ethnic groups, P and R, respondents were interviewed about their attitude towards mathematics. 44, a respondent is selected at random. What is the probability that he has a positive attitude towards mathematics? So out of the 100 respondents, one was selected as random, and they're asking what is the probability of this one student having a positive attitude towards mathematics. So the first thing we need to do is see how many students, the total of students that have a positive attitude towards mathematics. And then we're going to divide that over the total amount of students, which is 100. So it's 37 students having a positive attitude divided by 100. Simplifying that, we'll have 0.37, which gives our answer as B. Moving on to another question. Let's work question 47. We have Item 47 refers to the following graph of a straight line. The gradient of AB in the graph above is... First thing we need to do is write the equation of our gradient. So m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. The first thing we need to do is write our coordinates first and foremost, and then we're going to label them. So for A, our coordinates would be 2 on the x and 1 on the y, and for B, it's going to be 6 on the x and 3 on the y-axis. Now we're going to label, so x1, y1, and then x2, y2. Now substituting our values for x1, y1, and y2, x1, etc. We're going to have y2 as 3 minus y1 as 1. That is divided by x2 as 6 minus x1, 2. Simplifying, we have 3 minus 1 is 2 divided by 6 minus 2, which is 4. Simplifying that, we'll have half. So our gradient m is equal to half, which is B. Moving on to another question. We will be working, let's see, 47. We've worked the graphs in the previous 2020, I think, and 2019 paper. Pretty straightforward these are, so we've worked, I think, both of these questions already as well. So let's go to 60. Let's wrap it up with question 60. It says item 60 refers to the following diagram. The diagram above, now drawn to scale, shows the angle of depression of a point X from Z is 30 degrees. If X is 10 meters from Y, the height of YZ in meters is... So we can already tell this is SOHCAHTOA. And if you remember, we actually worked a question like this previously, but we're going to have an alternate angle, and what it means is a Z angle, and both of the interior angles would be the same. In our question, we have our angle at Z at 30, so therefore our interior angle at the bottom at X would be 30 degrees as well. And the other angle at Z would be 60, because we know 30 plus 60 would equal to 90, and that would be a 90-degree angle. Anyways, ZY is X, so we need to use SOHCAHTOA. Yeah, some all artists can always hear their owner's approach. That's the slang I use to remember it. From there, we now need to find our YZ. We have our angle at X, we have our base as 10, and we have our X. Looking at this, our X would be our opposite, and our base would be our adjacent. That is using our 30 degrees at X, our angle at the bottom. So we can already tell it's going to be TOA, which is tan, because we're going to be using opposite and adjacent, and tan is the only one that has that inside of it. So writing our equation, we're going to have one moment. So we're going to have tan theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. Substituting our values now, we'll have tan theta is 30 is equal to opposite, which is X, over adjacent, which is 10. We need to now make X the subject of the formula, so we'll have 10 tan 30 is equal to X. Remember, our X is dividing our 10, so when we take it across, it will be multiplying, so that's 10 tan 30. And that is the same as option A. So our answer would be A.